In this video, I'm going to talk about the best weekly opportunity the Bitcoin might give, and I think there are very good chances that it's going to be a bullish one. First of all, welcome to my channel. I am Diego and I am a professional trader. Let's get into it. This is where currently Bitcoin is, and as you can see, we've been in this range for almost 25 days. So I think eventually we're going to break out of it, but I don't think it's going to happen this week. What do I expect? Well, first of all, let's take a look at the previous week because it can give us the context to trade this week correctly. As you can see, last week we took the top of the range on Friday, to be exactly here. We took all the stop losses that people had placed above this high because people place stop losses at the highs, at the lows, and so on. And after we stopped all the people out, Bitcoin decided that it was time to reverse and go take some stop losses on the downside. So it dropped pretty hard actually. It was about a 5% drop. And in my opinion, the high of Bitcoin could be in. Well, let's take a look at the weekly candles because they can give us even more information. By looking at the previous week candle, I can see clearly the Bitcoin got a pretty hard rejection because we had this very long wick and a very small body. So to me, it means that we took the top of the range, but we didn't have enough momentum to continue up. We got rejected and dropped pretty hard, forming this long wick. To me, this looks pretty bearish overall. But like I said in my intro, this week I'm going to look for a long because this move down on a lower time frame that I'm going to show you soon looks finished or at least almost finished. It's very important to remember that Bitcoin reverses when it's taken enough liquidity, which are the stop losses, on one side or another. So for example here, it took the stop losses here, this high, this weekly high, and reversed. And I expect the same thing this week. And that's why I expect a bounce, at least around this 31K area. And where is the best place to bounce? Well, the best place for reversal is where the stop losses are. And as you can see, yesterday we took the previous week low, which contained many stop losses, and even the other weekly low. And now we are pretty close to the last one. So what am I thinking right now? I'm thinking that it's possible that the low of this week is in and we go higher to retrace and take even more liquidity on the upside around this area. Or we're going to take the last one. And after that, it will be the third weekly low. And then we're going to bounce back up and take the stop losses on the opposite side, because that's what Bitcoin does basically. It takes stop losses on one side, and when it's done, it reverses and takes stop losses on the other side. That's how the algorithm works. And in this particular situation, we have taken already two weekly lows, which are, pretty big stop losses. With all the people that long from the past week and even the week before. So I think the low could be in. Why do I think that this move down looks finished or almost finished? I'm going to show you right away. Let's take a look at a lower time frame. Let's choose the 1 hour. This is the current range, and as you can see, it's pretty choppy. And this has been going on for a very long time, actually. And in my experience, an impulse, either up or down, very often has 5 legs. And if you want to go more in depth about this topic, you can check online Elliott waves and you can find more information, but this is not the video where I'm going to talk about this. So I'm going to simply stick to the concept that an impulse very often has 5 legs. And as you can see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which is possibly the last one for a reversal, either higher or forming a lower high and drop again. I don't know that yet. I need to see more price action. But at the moment, this move down looks either finished or almost finished. We could place another lower low today by taking this one and the previous day low, and then bounce back up again. We don't know yet. We can see that even 2 weeks ago we had a very similar move that also was formed by 5 legs, and then we reversed. This one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well, that's how the algorithm works very often, at least. It forms 5 legs, and then it does have more momentum to continue. So it has to retrace or even go further by taking the high again. And I think this situation is very similar. We have this clear 5 legs down, and now we can either reverse from here and retrace around this area, or form another lower low for a bounce. We don't know that. But let's say, for example, that the low, this low from yesterday, is in. How do we maximize that without missing the move? Well, in this situation, after a bounce like this, I expect a retracement around the 0.561 Fibonacci. And then the way I trade it, I take a breakout trade right here that signifies a clear market structure change for a higher low and a lower high here, stop loss at the higher low, because I always use market structure as a stop loss. So in this particular situation, I would take my trade right here for the higher high and take profit around this order block consolidation right here. So probably, like I said even earlier, 31K area. I would either close my trade right here or take 50% depending on how price action looks like. But I think it's very reasonable to close it there and move on. What if the low is not in and we're gonna make another lower low before bouncing? How do we trade that? It's very important to know where our long idea, where our bullish idea will be invalidated. Because if the low, for example, is not in, and we're looking for a long today, possibly a New York session, that's gonna be in a few hours. Like I said, we wanna look for places where there are stop losses, because that's where Bitcoin likes to reverse, which is the previous day low and this weekly low. And again, where is our idea invalidated? Because we need to put a stop loss somewhere. We can't just keep longing forever, and if price keeps going down, we hold. I mean, that's the perfect recipe to go broke. So that's not what we're gonna do. In my opinion, the right invalidation is this order block right here, which is the only support that we have basically below this low. If we lose this support, I really think we're gonna break down and go much further. So we're gonna use the order block as our invalidation. We're gonna use basically the end of the order block around here. So let's say that in New York session, we took the previous day low. Honestly, I would enter aggressively. If I see a bounce back up, I will simply enter here. Stop loss here at the end of the order block. And then I will ride my long at this consolidation and possibly even higher, depending on momentum, price action, market structure, and so on. I can't really know right now because we don't have that information. That being said, if we get this bounce, what do we expect next? How is the context? Is it bullish? Is it bearish? Well, based on the previous weekly candle, which had a very long wick like I showed, they showed a pretty hard rejection. Overall, if we get this bounce, I will be ready to short it. But because Bitcoin is so slow at the moment, because we are inside this range, I don't expect that this short is going to happen this week. Sure, if it does, I will take it. But if it doesn't, I will take it next week. There's no problem. I'm not in a rush. And let's say we get the bullish retracement we're looking for. I expect a lower high around this area for more downside, like this, for example. Impulse down, retracement, lower high, lower low, break of market structure, bearish market structure for more downside, and that would be much more bearish. And like I said, the reason I expect a scenario like this is simply because the previous week's candle looks pretty bearish to me. And we took this high with no follow through. We took it, we failed auction, we didn't have enough strength to go higher, so we dropped, which is, in my opinion, a big sign of weakness. That's it for today. This is my plan for the current week. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comment whether you think that this range is gonna break up or down. I'm very curious to know. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.